This is Karan, Lord Bilimoria, founder and chairman of Cobra Beer, independent crossbench peer in the House of Lords, and the founding chairman of the UK-India Business Council. I'm delighted to be here at India Inc.'s Global Wealth Management Conclave at BDO's offices in Baker Street in London. We're having a very constructive conference discussing the outcome of the Indian elections, which have started today on April the 7th. And it won't be for over a month before we know the results on the 16th of May. And of course, the big question is, will Narendra Modi become Prime Minister? Will the BJP and its coalition partners be able to form a majority and form a government? And the consensus seems to be that Narendra Modi and the BJP will be able to form a government. And then it's a question of what will their policies be and what does India need? And the points that I have been making is that when I took over as the UK chair of the India-British Partnership in 2003, it was the BJP who were in government at the time. When I made the decision for Cobra Beer to start manufacturing Cobra in India again, we'd started in 1990, exported only outside India, never sold in India for the first 7 years from Bangalore to the UK and around the world. And I was waiting for the opportunity after I'd moved my production to the UK and Europe to bring production back to India, this time for sale in India. And I saw this happen in 2002 when the Indian economy took off and the growth rate started to hit the 8%, which they stayed for some time afterwards. That gave me the confidence to start manufacturing Cobra again in India, for India, which is what we do now in a joint venture with Molson Coors Cobra India. And again, that 2002 was during a BJP government. The Pravasi Bharatiya Divas event, which is an event to engage with the Indian diaspora around the world. There are now approaching 30 million people of Indian origin around the world, many of them doing exceedingly well. Here in the UK, the Indians are reaching the very top in just about every field, whether it's in business, whether it's in Parliament, both the House of Lords and the House of Commons. We have MPs and members of Lords who are of Indian origin. We have some of the most prosperous businesses in this country who are people of Indian origin. I believe there will be a Prime Minister of Indian origin in the UK in the future. And that's just one part of the world where Indians are doing really well. It's the BJP, when they were in power, that started the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas initiative in 2003 in India to engage with the Indian diaspora, which led to the formation of the Ministry of External Affairs, not the Ministry of External Affairs, but the Ministry of Overseas Indian Affairs in India, which didn't exist before. And to this day, the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas is held every year and supported from by the President, the Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers, and the whole government puts its weight behind this initiative. Again, a BJP initiative. Infrastructure development, a lot of that happened during what I call the India Shining government of BJP. But now when the BJP get back in power, which it seems most likely that they will, it is going to have to be with governance, decision-making, opening India up, liberalization, bringing in FDI, but also hopefully encouraging things like the GST. Cobra owns the only brewery in Bihar, and until recently, Nitish Kumar, the transforming Chief Minister of Bihar, had the BJP as his coalition partners, and his Finance Minister and Deputy Chief Minister, Sushil Modi, was the head of the Finance Minister's conclave for the GST. So they're very pro-GST. If the general sales tax can be brought in, there are estimates it could raise India's GDP by up to 2%. Also, inflation targeting. Raghuram Rajan, the governor of the Reserve Bank of India, is very keen on inflation targeting. The BJP government, one of the first things they could do is to have an independent monetary policy committee like we do here in the UK, which focuses on inflation targeting on a proactive and reactive basis every month. That will help a lot in keeping inflation under control in India, and I hope they will do that. So if we have a more outward-looking government, pro-liberalization, pro-FDI, pro-reform, with governance, with decision-making, and somebody who's run a state successfully, running a country and managing it, if he can execute, it'll be very good news for Indian business and for businesses in the UK wanting to deal with India. Of course, it's all still up in the air, and I look forward to the result.